All right, so I'm going to give a update on everything going on with my computer. So, and just a warning here for those of you who don't know computers, it's going to sound really nerdy. And if you do know computers, it's going to sound really stupid and simple because I'm definitely not an expert on computers. I've been learning quite a bit, but that's been out of necessity. So you know, who knows? Maybe I sound like a smart guy, but I don't know. So let me jump right into it. What happened is I was able to successfully back up my computer onto an external hard drive. Um, I was able to back up everything. I made my hard drive bootable, and I put up an image of my operating system onto that, and it has all the programs and stuff on there. And then I did a test, and I reloaded everything back on to the original hard drive to see if it would work. And it did. It worked. Everything got loaded on, even the operating system and all the programs. Not on all the files though. Um, like I had files from my iPhone I put on my computer, and then I saved onto the external. They didn't automatically upload onto the computer, but they were still on my external hard drive, so I was still able to do it, you know, manually. So that's not a big deal, but it was a big risk because you know I've never done this before. I made it like bootable and stuff, but like I had no idea really what I was doing. I was going off of hypothesis. Um, so I took a big risk, and it paid off this time, but it might not have because if I was wrong, you know, when it was booting onto the computer or when it was saving onto the internal hard drive, it was erasing completely the internal hard drive, and that's where all the original files were at. So I didn't know, if it was going to erase everything, if my internal and external were both going to be erased, or what was happening. And so I could have lost everything. I know that if you know computers, that probably sounds ridiculous right now. You're like, of course it worked, but I didn't know. You know, that was, a guess, a theory, and I had to test it, and it paid off. Um, the reason why I'm doing all of this, though, I mean, I it the hard drive was dying. Um, it was dying for some time. I know it's a manufacturer's issue because I bought it on Black Friday, and then about a year later, not even less than a year, it was telling me that the hard drive was dying and that I needed a new hard drive. And cool feature, by the way, saying like, "Hey, I'm fucked up. Get me squared away. Letting me know that hey, you're going to lose your stuff." Before, I'm sure it was just you didn't know something was wrong until you lost everything. So that's good. But but the fact that I had a defective hard drive in the first place, that's not good. So I knew, what I did is I turned off the computer. I made sure to keep it off because even idling, every second that goes by, it's recording more on the hard drive. So I decided, I'm just going to keep it off and wait until I get something to save all my stuff onto. And unfortunately, that took a while. And I finally got an external hard drive and I saved everything onto it, but then the manufacturer warranty expired. So, yeah, I called them up, tried to see what can I do, because hey, you guys did sell me a fucked up computer, but they say because it was out of warranty, they couldn't do anything about it, but they can still stand for repair for a fee. So it's like, okay, fine, what's the fee? And they're like, yeah, a small fee of $250. I paid $130 for the computer. Why am I going to pay $250 to get the hard drive replaced? And that doesn't make any sense. So of course I was not happy about that. And the guy said, okay, well, tell you what, we can send you a new hard drive then, if you really want it. I was like, yeah, send me a new hard drive. How much would that be? $200. How's that even a viable solution? I mean, yeah, it's slightly better than $250. It's still way more than I paid for the computer, for the whole damn thing, not just a hard drive. And he's like, okay, well, we have another option, maybe $150. Uh, yeah, I'm not trying. It's like, are you serious? Like, no, I'm not interested in, paying over $100 to get this fixed. Especially since I paid $130 essentially for the whole computer. So they weren't able to help me out. So I knew I had to solve the solution myself. So I started doing more research, and actually I learned a lot about what to do. First thing I did is actually I made my external hard drive bootable. It wasn't before. I just had the file saved on there, but I needed programs too to run those files. And to do that, I had to make it bootable. And so I format it, load everything back on, and then I also learned. I mean, it really was an interesting opportunity to just learn about so much, because I learned about like how BIOS works. I needed to know how the BIOS works in order to load it back on properly, which is cool. BIOS is like this. It's not an operating system. It's a checklist that tells your computer what to look for, like where to look for the operating system. And so, I mean, you can load it from a DVD, or you can load it from your internal, or, as is what I wanted to do, you can load it from an external. And so I got to learn about that, and I'm pretty much, I took the attitude that I'm going to do everything myself, and like a hard drive, $150, 250 bucks, just to get the hard drive. I mean, I could probably go on eBay and get myself a cheap hard drive for like $40. Maybe not even that. I probably could get for cheaper for that size. So it's like, yeah, you know what? I'll just get a new hard drive and I'll replace it myself. I even watch videos on how to replace hard drives and take it apart and put it back. I watched several, make sure I had a good understanding. Fortunately, with the HP 15s, those are a little tricky to get to, but I think I know how to do it. So I'm prepared to get a new hard drive, buy a new one off of eBay, and replace it. And then I had a sudden moment of inspiration, because I'm going to be taking apart this computer anyways. The reason why I bought this computer was because previous to that Black Friday, I had another computer, and the power supply to the motherboard had cracked. So it was no good anymore. The computer itself wasn't good, but the hard drive was fine. So in my research, I learned that hard drives, it seems for laptops anyways, are relatively interchangeable. They all seem to be about 2.75 inches, and I even watched a video where a guy replaced different brand names, Hitachi with a Samsung, and it's just like, I wonder if I can take the hard drive out of my old computer and put it into my newer one. Then I wouldn't need to buy a new hard drive at all. In fact, I would have this problem fixed for $0. So, but effort, I would have paid effort into it. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. And then I don't know what files are on that old hard drive though. I can't access them at the moment, but as soon as I put them into my HP computer, I should be able to access and see what's in there and see if there's anything I want to save, and take out. And then what I'll do is I'll just save that onto my external hard drive, not the operating system, just the programs. Put down my external, and then I'll reload. I'll wipe that hard drive, reload everything onto it, including the operating system and all the files, which I might have to do manually. Same with the iPhone, and hopefully that will work. And my computer will be fixed. So, um, yeah, it sucks I'm going through all this trouble, but it's an opportunity that I'm learning quite a bit, and it's like it's another way that I feel like I'm improving myself is by learning how how stuff works, and it keeps me busy too, because I need to keep busy. I certainly do, and you know, I guess this it turns out to be like a blessing in disguise, I guess you can say. So I might make another video, let you guys know how it goes when I finish actually doing the whole process. But it should be interesting, and hopefully it'll work.